Welcome to day 2 of week 3. We're now getting really excited about the market because today we're going to experience a number of things. Our goals for today is to understand the construction of the alligator, to understand how the alligator allocates our trades, and how the experience of the alligator behavior works in actual markets. We're going to look at some actual charts for the first time, understanding how the alligator works. So let's go and look at the alligator. What we're going to look at now is the Alligator Anatomy 101, and we're going to look at the alligator setups. We're going to look at 3 different balance lines. Now, a balance line is where the market would be, where the price would be, if there were no new incoming information. So the distance between this balance line and where the price actually is a result of new incoming information. And we're going to set these up so that it will be more alive to us, more realistic. And we're going to call the blue line, the jaw line. The setup of the jaw line is this is the balance line on the current time frame displayed on the chart. So if we're looking at a daily chart, it's a balance line on the daily chart. If we're looking at a 5-minute, it's a 5 minutes. The construction of this, and this came from a Cray mainframe mathematically, and then we inputted it into a formula that could be used on any PC. Here's what it is. It's a 13-bar smooth moving average that's offset 8 bars into the future. Now, we'll show you this on a chart in a few minutes. But the important thing is that this is the jaw of the alligator. This is the balance line for the current time period. Now, we're also going to put in the teeth. And the teeth of the alligator, we're going to color the teeth red. This is the balance line for one significantly shorter time frame. Now, it is not a clock time, but it's roughly a factor of 5. So if the blue balance line is on a daily chart, then the red balance line would roughly be on an hourly chart. Not exactly because of clock time. This is figured out by the computer. But it's constructed in the computer and can be done on almost any computer by using an 8-bar smooth moving average that's offset 5 bars into the future. And then the last line we want is the lip line, and we're going to paint that line green. This is the balance line for still one more significantly shorter time frame. It's a 5-bar smooth moving average offset 3 bars into the future. Now, this may sound complicated at the moment, but it really isn't. We're going to show it to you on a chart by itself, and then we'll show it to you on some charts with the price lines on. But just to review, we have 3 lines. Those 3 lines are all 3 balance lines, and we're seeing all of them on one chart, but these are the balance line for 3 different time frames. The jaw is the balance line for the current time frame that's on the chart, and we color it blue. The red is the teeth, and it's the balance line for one significantly shorter time frame, and the green is the lips of the alligator, and that's still one more significantly shorter time frame. These are constructed by 3 different smooth averages that are offset. The jaw is a 13-bar smooth average offset 8, the teeth is an 8-bar smooth average offset 5, and the lips are a 5-bar smooth offset average offset 3 bars into the future. So now let's look at the alligator on an actual chart. Here's the alligator's mouth on a chart. This is a coffee chart. It's a daily chart. Basically, it's about 2.5 months of coffee. And what we see here is the blue line. And remember that the blue line is the jaw, and this is a 13-bar offset 8. And the red line is the teeth. That's an 8-bar smooth average offset 5. And the green line is the lips. That's a 5-bar offset 3. And this is the alligator's mouth. Now, when you see the alligator down here, the alligator's lines are intertwined. The alligator's sleeping. The alligator wakes up, and he's opened his mouth, and he's searching for some bull meat. Now let's look at this same chart. And by the way, we're going to use this chart for several different slides here to illustrate how it is. But we're going to put the prices on this exact same chart. This is how the alligator looks on the price chart. We're still looking at the same time period. We're still looking at coffee with the price charts on. And notice that in this time frame over on the left, the alligator is sleeping. About midway here, the alligator wakes up, and the alligator is searching for this food. One way that one of our traders looks at this, he looks at this as if the price bars here were little fish, and the alligator's chasing the fish, and the fish are trying to get out of the alligator's mouth. Once again, we have the sleeping alligator here. The sleeping alligator is indicated anytime the lines are close together or they're intertwined. And then the hungry alligator, who's searching for food, is here. Remember our slide on the bracketed market. The bracketed market is this market here, and the blind chicken trades are in here. So anytime the price is above the alligator's mouth, you want to be very aggressive in going long, but you want to be very cautious in going short, because if you went short up here, in effect, you're feeding the alligator, and you're feeding the alligator your money. So you don't want to do that. So this is the way that it looks on a chart, on a price chart itself. Let's look at a couple more charts. Here's a Coca-Cola stock chart. And this is about 3 months of a chart. But you can see that in this period here, the market was going nowhere. This is the sleeping alligator. Then the alligator woke up, and in this chart, the alligator wants some bear meat. And during this time, and we'll explain this next week, but this is your first fractal out of the alligator's mouth that's hit. So you would be short in this area here. All during this time, you would be short, adding on, aggressively adding on, and not getting out until the price went back into the alligator's mouth. So then you took all of this profit way up here from 70 to 60, and that is roughly about almost a 20% profit in a period of less than a month, which is pretty exceptional for a stock trade, and going short on the Coca-Cola. Let's look at another one. Here is Microsoft. And here we see several instances. Here is the sleeping alligator. The alligator wakes up and he wants some bull meat. So during this time period here, the only thing you would do is take longs. You would not short this market at all. You would not sell into this because you would be feeding the alligator. You would not sell into here because the alligator's mouth is closed, which is an indication the alligator is sleeping. You would go long here, and you would be long, and you would be long through this movement. You would be out here because the alligator is sleeping. And at the current time when this chart is over, you would be long. And I hope that you can see the advantage of this, and it keeps you always on the right side of the market. Let's recap what we've done today. What we've looked at today is the alligator's anatomy. Anatomy 101, we looked at how the alligator is constructed. We know that the balance line, and we have 3 balance lines which create the alligator's mouth. Each balance line is where the price would be if there were no new incoming information. The blue line is the balance line for the current time frame that's on the chart you're looking at. The red line, which is the teeth, is one time frame, a significant time frame lower, and the green line is one more significantly time frame lower. That creates the alligator's lips, teeth, and jaw. And this is our asset allocator, and it tells us which way to go and what kind of buys or sells to take. So if the alligator is hunting bull meat, we wouldn't feed the alligator by going short, and if it's hunting bear meat, we wouldn't feed the alligator by going long. Our basic strategy is to do nothing until we have a confirmed breakout outside the sleeping alligator's mouth. Now, one of the characteristics of an alligator is, as we said before, is that when it's sleeping, the longer it sleeps, the hungrier it gets. Same thing is true in the market. The longer that a market's in a bracketed frame of mind, the bigger the move is going to be coming out of that market. So at the very time that the market is the most boring to look at is the very time that we should be the sharpest, because here the alligator's sleeping and we want to see him take his first yawn and his first breath awakening to his hunger, and we want to follow him and let the market tell us exactly what to do. That way we don't ever have to worry about things like having to outsmart all the other traders or to predict the market. We just watch the alligator and ride the alligator's back. So remember to do your 2 ATs and your morning pages, and that about wraps it up for week 3, day 2.